Today I'll show you how you can use TypeScript in your project, and this is not a basic tutorial. I want you to have a basic knowledge on TypeScript. I would like you to view some videos on TypeScript. If you have a basic knowledge on TypeScript, you will be able to continue with this video, as I would recommend you to first watch some videos that give you a basic knowledge of TypeScript. Okay, let's get started. So number one, we should have a basic knowledge on TypeScript, and number two, let's take a look at intermediate knowledge of TypeScript. Let me open Visual Studio Code real quick and let's get started. So first I will create a file here called intermediate.ts. Okay, so basically we want some basic knowledge about what we are going to do today. So first of all, let's think about some questions. Give me just a minute. Let's say first of all we want to compare some types in TypeScript. Type comparison. We want to know how we can compare types in TypeScript. First of all, the question is check if given variable is type boolean, right? So this is our question, how we can check if a variable is boolean. To check if a variable is boolean, we need to create two variables. Let sample1 equals to maybe hello world, and let sample2 equals to true. Okay, now we want to compare these two variables and make sure we get the correct data. We want to have a boolean data from these variables. Let's create a type is boolean. This type is going to compare our given variable with the actual boolean type, and it'll tell us if it's a boolean or something else. Let's say is boolean of type t is equal to t extends boolean. So basically we are saying if t is boolean, then return true, else return false. So this is basic comparison in TypeScript. And okay, now let's implement it. Let's create a new variable, bool. It is expected to be boolean, and we will say is boolean. Now here we will pass our sample1. Remember, we need to use this keyword type of sample1, because we are comparing the types of this variable, not the value. So we will get the type, and we don't need to assign anything here. Now if we hover here, we can see it says bool is false. It means this variable is not boolean. The value of this variable is not boolean. Now if I change this variable to sample2 and hover here, we could see we have bool true. So we have successfully compared the value of variable in TypeScript. Let's go next. Let me clear this real quick. So next we want to extract data, not data, sorry. We want to extract the type from inside of another type in TypeScript. We do that using a TypeScript keyword called infer. Let me show you how we can do that. So we can, okay, type extraction, right. So the question is statement. We don't call it question, we can call it statement. The statement is extract key and value type from given sample type. Okay, let's suppose we have a sample. Let sample 1 equals to, not equal, I'm sorry, record. This record is an object whose keys are string and value might be an object maybe. Okay, so we want to first we want to extract the key, the type of key of this sample. So if we take a look at this sample, we have record, the key is string and the value is object. We want to extract this one. So this is what we'll do. Type get key type from T equals to key extends. Now again, we are basically comparing T from a given type. We want to make sure that the given type is exactly this type, so that we can extract the key. So we will say if T extends the record, then infer or maybe key, anything. Whoops. And then we can say here it can have anything. We don't care about it. So if this condition is true, then return the key, which is which we infer from the record. Else return never. It means if this condition is not valid, then return never. It means the given type is not correct. Okay, now let's check it out. Let sample, or we can say result of type get key type of type of sample 1. So now we are getting the key type of sample 1, which is this here. If I hover on the result, we can see we have successfully infer or extracted the type of the key of this sample. Now if I change this, if I change the type of this variable, let's suppose number, and if I hover here, I can see it says number. So this is how we can extract the types from inside of other types. So let me clear this real quick. Let's go to our third example, and now we want to basically create a variable, and the type of this variable will be let's do it. Let's just do it, and let me show you what I want to say. So the statement is create variable of type profile property from whoops, given interface. So basically we will have an interface, employee, in which we have the data type of employee. It can be anything. And let's say we have a special property inside of this employee. I have a typo here. Okay, basically, let's say we have a special property in this interface, which we don't want to extract it. We just want to directly use it as a type. Let's say profile. And the profile have f name, the first name of the user, which is of type string, the l name, which is of type string, and a contact number of type number. So basically, we want to create a variable of type profile, and we want to assign the type, this type. We want to assign it this type. This is how we can do that. Let profile of type employee. Now here, if I use square brackets, I can access all of the properties of this interface. So I can say profile. Now if I hover over the profile, I can see I got the type. So this is perfect. This is how we can access the properties of any other type. Let's say I want to extract the type of f name from profile. Again, this is how I can extract that. If I hover here, I get string. If I change this to contact, I got number. So this is how we can have the type of interface properties. Now let's clear this real quick. Okay, so we are done here. Let me close this. We don't need to save it. Now let me open my notes. So we got the intermediate knowledge. Now we want to implement our knowledge on a sample statement, how to extract your desired interface from a given object schema. Let me show you what this means. Let me open my VS Code again, and let me rename this to maybe index.ts. So open the file. Okay, so first of all, we will create an object, a JavaScript object, not a TypeScript type. We're going to create a JavaScript object. Create sample employee schema in JS. So this is a basic schema object. Const employee schema equals to an object. Basically, we will have name of type string. So this string, if you know JavaScript, you know that this is not a type. This is a constructor, string constructor. This is a class. And let's complete it. We will have age of type number constructor. We'll have profile of type maybe object, and we'll have a type, not type, I'm sorry, a property, verified Boolean constructor. So basically, this is not a type. This is a JavaScript object. Now we want to convert this object into an interface using Typescript. Let me show you how we can do that. So let me first show you what in what interface we want to convert it. You may probably understood what we want to make, but let me show you. We want to make an interface of employee schema. This interface will have name of type string, age of type number, profile of type object, and is verified of type boolean. Now this is a type, this is an object. We want to convert this object into this type. So let me clear this. Now I'm going to create a type using Typescript. This type, it's a method to generate schema from given object. Schema generator from T. Now we want to assign it okay, so basically first of all we want to make a loop. This is a TypeScript loop. Here I will say that my key is in the key of T. Now it will assign all the properties, name, age, profile is verified, to the key. And here we will have the value, the type of the value, and we want to have, we can extract the value type from T. This is how we can do that. So key, okay, so you know that the key is the key of T. So this is how we can access the value of property of T. Now we want to compare this value, which is here string in case of name. Possibly we will have string inside this, we will have number, we will have object, we will have boolean. Now we want to compare this value, and on the basis of this comparison we want to assign this a value, not a value, sorry, a type. So let's say if the value of this one here extends string constructor. Again, we cannot type string here because string is a class, not a basically it's not instantiated, so we cannot type string here. We will have to type string constructor here. Even if I hover on it, it says string constructor. I didn't instantiate it, so this is a string constructor. If this type extends string constructor, then we will return string. Else, if T key extends, we can copy it from here, number constructor, command baby, then we will return number. Else, if this extends object constructor, we can copy it from here, then we will return object. Else, if if T key of T extends the boolean constructor, then return boolean as return never. let me format it. So now we have multiple comparisons here. If this extends string constructor, then we will return string. If it extends number constructor, then we will return number. If it extends object constructor, we will return object. If it extends the boolean constructor, we will return boolean. Else it means the type is not expected, we'll return never. Or we can also return any here, as you wish. Okay, now we are ready to test it. Now I want to create a variable employee, and the type of this variable is going to be Schema Generator, and we will pass the type of this object here. Now if I hover over here, it says employee of type Schema Generator, and it has directly passed this one. Yeah, we can test it by assigning it a value. Now I'm on Mac, and if I press Option plus Escape key, it will give me the intelligence for all the available properties. And so we have all these properties available that we have to assign to this variable. First we will assign name, and here if I let me just assign some data real quick. Okay, now you can see I have assigned the values to this variable. Here we if we hover on name, we can see it says string. If we hover over the age, it says number. If we hover over the is verified, it says boolean. Profile, it says object. Now if I assign something else, it will not allow me to assign some other data, because we have created an interface from this object, and we are telling the Typescript that we are going to use this interface for this employee variable. If I assign something, maybe number here, it will not allow me to do that. So perfect, this is how we can create an interface from this object. Okay, now we have another question: how we can how we can get this the type of this object from the interface that we generated just now. Let me create a new type, get schema type from T. If T extends Schema Generator, then infer R and return R, else return never. So now if I hover here, I can see the type of this object. Yeah. Let's create a sample variable. Let's sample equals to, not equal, I'm sorry. Let's sample of type Schema Generator, and we'll pass the type of employee schema. Yeah. Now if I hover here, it says generate a schema generator of type of the object. I want to extract this object from this generator. I have created this type. Again, this is from our intermediate knowledge. If I create another variable, let result of type get schema type of type of sample, and if we hover here, we've got the type of this object. It's exactly the same type as our object. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video. We have covered the dynamic typings in TypeScript in 4 easy steps. If there is something I'm missing, please comment in the comments box, and we will cover it in the next upcoming tutorials. And if I have done any mistake, please also mention the mistake in the comment. I will improve it in the future. Thank you very much for your support, and I'll be very thankful if you can subscribe my channel so that you can get notifications about new upcoming tutorials. Have a good day. Bye bye.